On Kiss 92. Gotta get up.
Good morning, Singapore, and welcome to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. Our guest for today is the CEO and founder at Career Agility International. He is Adrian Choo, back with us this week.
How are you feeling? We heard you were a little bit unwell last week.
Yeah, I had a bad flu, and the worst thing about people who don't fall sick often is when you get hit, you get hit.
You get hit hard.
Really hard.
Yeah, so I was really knocked out on my back. But back in the saddle now.
Okay,
and,
good.
Good. Angel is very worried.
Yeah.
She just wanted to make sure that you were completely well.
I said this morning, if you're not well, please stay away.
Yeah, and I agree with you.
Because none of us want to get ill.
I agree with you. I agree with you. I think the worst thing than absenteeism is presenteeism. When you're not feeling well and you're still
turning up.
Turning up, trying to impress the boss. You're not impressing me by coming up to work sick.
And bringing all those germs in? No.
Yeah, exactly. Take the day
But
off.
sometimes you just want to test yourself to see whether you're strong.
Go test it somewhere else then,
Go test
No,
it
so
on
I'm
you.
looking at you.
No,
I'm the well one.
Right. So
I'm
am
saying,
I.
like,
I'm well.
Want to test
But
it? Go
you're a bit
test it on
scared,
your
man.
cousins.
Bit of a scaredy cat.
No, I'm not scared. I just feel like because these days I think a lot of us have become a bit of a germaphobe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because of COVID and all. I definitely have.
Yeah.
Any little bit, I would rather stay away from that person because I will pass it on to anyone else living with me, and that person living with me will pass it off to anyone
But
else
every
that they
time,
work
every time you
with.
catch something, your immunity gets stronger. You see.
No. That's
You know
not
what
true.
I mean?
No.
So if I'm like, what he should say is, Glenn, come over here and cough on me.
Ew!
Oh, come on!
Gross. Turn your chair around and face that way.
I don't have a cough. If
I know.
there's anyone who has a cough, it's
I'm just saying. FD.
Yeah, I do.
Hey, you're pointing fingers.
No, it's true.
come, cough on me. Anyways, okay, we've got Adrian Choo here today to give us bad career advice. What's this all about?
Yeah, I was on Facebook and YouTube and some time back, and I saw a lot of people, so-called career gurus, giving advice, and some of the advice is just simply atrocious, bad advice. So I thought today, instead of the usual good advice which we normally dispense on lovely Thursday mornings, today we're going to talk about some bad career advice which I've heard over the couple of years, in fact. And we hope to dispel all these horrible, bad advice that you should never, ever listen to.
Okay.
And I think for some of our KISS listeners, if they have been given bad career advice, maybe they can tell us about
Yes,
it.
please send
And
it
you
through.
can comment on it as well.
Yeah,
Oh,
for
yes.
sure. I mean, if you're on Facebook, comment there. If you're on YouTube, we're at Kiss 92 FM.
Yeah.
And also, if you're on WhatsApp, it's 8855509220.
And I welcome you to drop names.
Yeah.
I've got to say, when I was younger, the bit of advice that I've discovered is not always true. Is loyalty will be rewarded.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, let's talk
Okay.
about that a little bit more on The Big Show TV. Here's Ian Dior with I Think You Should Go on KISS 92.
I think you should go. Feels like we
So negative. I think you should go.
But like I was saying, loyalty will
Doesn't
always
pay.
be rewarded.
Why
No.
cannot say that
Anymore.
No, but I'm not saying it's true
Don't say it
everywhere.
out loud, though.
I'm not saying it's true everywhere, but there are a lot of companies out there that really don't give a D about your loyalty. It's just what can you produce?
That means, are you saying that you live by that?
I have been in a company that treated people like that.
No, but
what,
then
that
now,
it paid off or it didn't pay off?
Didn't pay off.
Right.
but now you're saying, asking people not
No.
to be too loyal.
He
No.
said when he was younger,
When I
he
was
heard this.
when I was
Glenn.
younger.
Yeah, but
Selective
then
hearing.
if you read between the lines,
Yeah.
You see, sometimes
Don't overthink.
you don't read between the
Don't
lines.
overthink.
It just is what it is.
What do you think?
I think in the old days,
The old days.
You had to
back in
stretch
the
it a little
day.
bit.
Yeah, I know. I think employer loyalty was there. Like my dad worked in Standard Chartered Bank for close to 30 years, I think.
I think there was less population. That's why.
think
You know what I mean? It's true. There's so many people
But
now
why
vying for
wouldn't
the
you
same
want to
job.
work for a good bank like that for
No,
30
for
over
sure,
years,
for
you know?
sure. I
Yeah.
think if anyone could get loyalty, both employers and employees, they would want to stick
Of course they
to
do.
the company.
Yeah,
you
of
know.
course
But
they
I
do.
think, in recent years especially, you have situations where a lot of the big multinational companies, they're all US, NASDAQ listed, and the CEO's performance is judged quarter by quarter by quarter. So one quarter you're not making money, the stock market starts getting nervous about your company. Second quarter not making money, or the CEO is worried he's going to get fired.
Yeah.
So he starts firing people instead. So no loyalty, it's a transaction. It's just a
It's
contract.
business.
It's
not
business.
personal.
It's not personal.
business.
It's business. So
Yeah.
I think the advice probably worked many years
Many
ago.
years ago, but not
Many
now.
years ago, to drag it right, many.
Many years ago. But I think for the most part, it doesn't work now.
But I think if you have a good employer who's loyal to you, then it's great. But I think it's dangerous to assume it. And the other thing that is quite scary for me is you think your boss is loyal to you, and your boss is very loyal to you, right? Then he gets fired. Someone else comes in. So I think
Yeah.
you cannot assume loyalty anywhere that you go. So I think it's just play it safe. Think about yourself and your family.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we
Cover
should
your
always
own
think
behind.
it this way. As long as your company is paying you, you need to be loyal to them.
And I think it's okay to be loyal to them. Okay.
But don't expect them to be loyal to you.
Yes. Yeah.
This is employees' perspective, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
But then again, won't an employer think the same way? You want to be loyal to your employees, but then they go screw around. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
They
correct.
go
So-
moonlight or they do whatever.
Yeah. So I'll do to you first before you do to me. Kind of
Exactly.
thing.
Yeah. Exactly. It's a
As
dog eat
long
dog, right?
as we are in a relationship, I will be loyal to you.
I don't think Glenn's talking about work anymore.
but that does work at work as well.
Yeah, no, I mean, I am talking about
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
As long
As
as you're
long
in a
as I'm
relationship.
in a relationship with
You
you.
should be loyal.
Yeah.
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 But not many people have that, right?
Well, I think loyalty. What's loyalty? I mean, if you're working for Singapore Airlines, doesn't mean they only fly Singapore Airlines. I don't fly anything else that's not Singapore Airlines. Or if I'm working for one soft drink company, do I
And you only drink that drink.
Yeah, do I drink something else that's not? So loyalty can be stretched. I mean, depends how you want to define it. Well, basically, don't be disloyal to your company. I absolutely agree with that.
Don't do anything that will discredit them.
Yeah,
That will.
yeah.
Okay.
Correct.
That's right.
That will ruin
Always
them.
try to contribute to the success and the wealth of the company.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Because I suppose a lot of people will think that way because they feel like if the company grows, I will grow with it. But then if they don't see their own personal growth, then they start to get a bit disgruntled, right?
Correct. So I think
Like I've done so much for this company and I haven't got anything back.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't, at the risk of sounding mercenary, I think that you should always look after yourself in the long term.
Because sometimes like that whole point, right? I don't know whether that is loyalty or not loyalty. If the company cannot give you progression, and you go to a company that can, does that mean you're disloyal to the first company?
True.
You're not.
Yeah.
You're going
You're
for
looking after yourself,
Yeah,
right?
you're going for somewhere that's got progression. The company you're in now can't.
Now you're
can't help you
encouraging
with
people
it.
to job hop.
Glenn, after anything you say, anything. Didn't you just miss this?
Yeah. Didn't get this for a month.
But then what are you going to say now? There's nothing wrong in job hopping. But then again, Adrian has said that before.
So what is it? I mean, like what FD says, if you're not progressing in one company, is it disloyal to move to another
I think
company
it's not. I think it's not. Well, I think all of us should be loyal.
Yeah.
Okay, but loyal to whom? So for me, I believe you should be loyal to your
ourselves?
Yeah, your stakeholders, yourself and your stakeholders.
Yeah.
And who are your stakeholders? It's not the boss, it's not the company, it's yourself and your family.
Yeah.
You want to make sure that you're in the best company, you're in the best, your place where you're learning the most, you are enjoying yourself the most, and in the long term, you have your own credit. So I know this individual who actually was so loyal to the company that it. Oh,
Yeah.
we'll get it online.
Yeah.
Dot.
Bring that up the moment we go back on air.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all I'm trying to do.
Kiss 92 traffic.
On the SLE, in both directions, there is a situation. If you're heading towards the BKE after the Upper Thompson Road exit, look out for a broken down vehicle. On the SLE as well, heading towards the CTE after the Upper Thompson Road exit. I'm not sure if this is the same spot. I don't think so. Another vehicle has broken down there. Wherever you are this Thursday, please stay safe.
I'm gonna buy you some pipakao for sure. What have you been eating in Amritsar?
Oh, lots of dal, lots of
No
breads, lots of curries. Very good food. I had something called masala oats. So you know, no. I know
hello,
it's
that sounds great.
It sounded to
What do
me.
you mean?
This was at breakfast, right?
Yeah.
At the Hyatt Regency, and it sounded when I looked at it, I was like, oh, I'm not sure what that is, right? But then I thought, okay, just try everything once, especially if it's vegetarian. So I just scooped it up. So it's like a yellow dal.
Yeah.
You've tried yellow dal, but it's silkier and creamier than
Because
dal
of the
because they
oats.
use oats.
Oh, wow.
And I thought I wouldn't like it, but I did like it. And then I thought to myself, it's either you want lentils or you want oats. Both have great fiber.
Yeah.
You know, both will keep you feeling full for a long time. It's just a matter of whether you like the texture, and I really, really
And
enjoyed it.
Oats are better for your blood sugar levels.
There you go. So masala oats.
What do you think?
No, I
You
think
want me to
try
start
it.
calling you doctor, is it? Good morning, Dr. FD.
Okay.
Okay, anyway, we have Adrian Choo here talking about what kind of bad advice we can face during our careers.
So earlier on, FD mentioned advice which he heard when he was younger about that you should be loyal to your employer all the time. And I think you have to look after yourself, and you have to look after your key stakeholders, which is yourself, your health, and your family members. So I know this individual, okay, who was in finance, and she was with a Singapore-listed company. And I went and visit her at the office once, and she says, I'm very loyal to my company, you know. I work very long hours and everything. And I looked at her, and her hands were all bundled up in bandages.
Oh, what?
And I said, oh, okay, that's great to hear. What's your situation? And she said she has an immunity issue.
Oh no.
And I said, have you seen a doctor? I said, no, I've had no time to see a doctor.
Autoimmune,
Aiyo.
probably. Oh.
Yeah, I've no time to see a doctor. And I said, oh, really, you should, you know. I said, no, because the reports are due, you know, everything else, I'm really, really busy. Because I really want to give my best to the company.
Okay.
And I said, how about your boss? Is your boss giving you time off? So my boss expects me to work as hard.
Oh no.
And I said,
Oh,
look,
man.
you're loyal to your company, you're loyal to your boss, but if your boss was really loyal to you, he would say, okay, look, go
Take
see a
some
doctor,
time
take
off.
some time off,
Yeah.
go see a doctor. Instead, the boss is just squeezing her on weekends for data, for numbers and everything.
Despite
Yeah.
her hands being in bandages.
Yeah,
oh
and
my
she
gosh.
was, and no, that's why I think you should be loyal up to a certain level, but maybe not blindly loyal. Look after yourself. I think that's most important.
I hope she left the company.
I think she's still there.
Oh wow.
Wow.
I hope she's not
But I
working for
think
the
maybe,
same boss.
but she's happy to be a slave.
No, I don't think anyone's
It's like that
happy.
Britney Spears song.
I'm a
No, but
slave.
some people
She was
some,
talking about her father there.
but
Oh,
some
is it?
people are just very conservative and they don't leave because they're not willing to take the
Comfort
risk.
level.
It's comfort
yeah,
level.
yeah.
You know, we've got a comment that's
Are
come
you talking
through.
about yourself?
No, we've got a comment that's come through on our Facebook that's really interesting, and I want Adrian's comments. Employment is not a relationship; it's a transaction.
It's becoming like that, no, actually. Yeah, it's a contract, right?
Yeah, well, we did say earlier it was transactional,
It's
right?
transactional.
It's a
Transactional.
contract, and I think, in fact, even employment now, I don't even want to look at it as employment. I'd like to look at your job you're in as a gig, because you're not going to be there forever. Agreed?
Yeah.
I mean, you're with the company.
Unless you're FD.
Unless you're FD.
What's with me this morning?
He owns the company, so he's going to be there.
I got no
forever.
choice, you know.
Would you like a dart?
It's like
Yeah.
it's like been around forever.
He misses you, lah, FD. So.
He misses the punching bag, is what he
No,
misses.
no.
He's just trying to make up for lost time.
Last time, yeah.
So it's. I think if it is transactional, and over time, I think look at your job as a gig. Because if you're going to be there only for 2, 3, 5, don't tell me you're going to be in this job. Whoever our listeners are, that you'll be here for the next 15, 20 years. Highly unlikely.
Stop it! Glenn,
Stop looking at me. Stop it.
stop snickering in the
Yeah,
background.
that's right.
So you should look at a job you're in as a gig,
Yeah.
and then what next. So if you're looking at your current job as a gig, then you can start planning and you start thinking, I don't really need to be here forever. So do I need to be that? 100%. I must be this company forever.
So it's now a gig, not a career.
It's not a gig. It's not a career. It's just a series of gigs if you look at it.
Oh, wow.
Right.
Okay.
FD, are you planning to go to another company?
No, I'm very happy where I am.
Let's continue this conversation on The Big Show TV. It's 8:13.
Kiss 92 Time Check brought to you by Putian.
Okay, when we started this out, you were saying that there are people on social media that are giving really bad advice.
Yeah.
What sort of advice that is
So
really
I saw this individual who said that if you have career gaps, say you had 1 year where you're out of a job and you couldn't find a job or whatever, for whatever reasons, you don't have to tell the person, the interviewer, what you did there. In fact, you should just tell him that, during that period, I was with a company. I cannot name the company because of a non-disclosure agreement.
Oh my God.
Cannot, really?
Yeah.
You
And it's
can-
like, no, that's
You
absolute
can't say
rubbish.
that,
That's
yeah.
absolute rubbish.
So what would
And
you do to close that gap? I mean, can you say anything? Is there
Yeah,
anything that...
it's okay if you just say that, I was retrenched, or the company experienced a reduction in force, or there was an exercise.
I was laying on the couch
Just
for
be
the whole
honest.
year.
And for then 1 year I took a career break. But in the meantime, I was doing this. I know I went to Thailand and I built
Houses for the...
orphanages. Yeah,
But don't lie too
I
much,
don't,
right?
okay, it has to be true. But I know
Yeah.
or I took up this course or whatever it is. I think it's okay to have a career break and to just say it out. I was doing my own stuff.
Especially these days, right? I mean, these days it's more acceptable than ever.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
But the worst is to lie and say that, it's a non-disclosure agreement. I can't tell you which company it was. So what do you do at that unknown company? I can't tell you either. Because
If I tell you, I have to shoot you.
so it's like,
If you're an interviewer, the moment someone opens his or her
smell
mouth and
BS,
says that,
right?
right, you know
Yeah.
it's bullshit already.
And can you imagine if someone said, "Oh yes, I went to Thailand and I was building houses"? You'd be like, "Oh, which city? I do that as well."
yeah, I know. So you
So
cannot
don't lie,
be
yeah.
honest. Yeah.
Question I have: there's been a year that you haven't found work,
Yeah.
but what started that year was you were terminated from your job, and you couldn't find work.
Or you were
Now-
lazy and didn't want to
No,
work.
but I want to use the term
Termination.
terminated. And then for a year you couldn't find work, and now you've got this interview. How do you deal with that?
What do
You were
do I-
fired.
Do you? Yeah, you were fired. How do you?
But it depends once again. If you're fired for something criminal or what,
Yeah.
then okay, highly contentious point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need not tell the interviewer what the reason for the firing was.
Okay.
Oh, no matter what.
Yeah, you need not
Oh,
tell.
really? Okay.
Yeah, but say no. The contract ended.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you don't even have to say I was fired. You can
I
just
was
say the
fired for
contract ended.
I was fired for stealing office stationery, or some. So it's very contentious. Some people will just be very open about it. Some people will not. And
So
I think
legally, you're
there's
not required to say.
You're not required, but in the employment form itself, it might be a piece. I mean, there might be a line in there that say, "Have you been terminated or fired before?" Then when you got to answer honestly,
Yeah.
and if you're asked to fill it up, you declare it, because if down the road they find that you lied on the
Yeah.
application form,
Yeah,
that's-
exactly.
you can be terminated for it.
Right.
And if they put if yes reason, you know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
some of these
correct,
have.
yeah.
Can you, what do you? Some of these are online forms, right? Where you
Yeah.
have to fill it up, right? So what do you put? Not applicable,
I would just
or
put-
rather not say, or
I'll
ended
just put a
contract?
dash. I'll put a dash on it. And if
Right,
you want
okay.
to, you ask me. I'm not going to put it down on some
On paper.
database or some paper somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But you just said that if it's there on the application form, you're required to.
Yeah, I would
fill it
be very
in.
transparent about it.
You have to say yes, you were fired.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But he's
correct.
saying you don't have to say why.
Yeah, because
Correct.
You don't
sometimes
have
So it's
to-
like he was giving good advice, you giving bad advice.
No. He said you don't
Because
have to
you're
give it
telling
away.
people to put NA there.
No.
No, I agree. You can put
But
NA.
you
so-
can put, no, but just saying because you don't want to say the reason why you were
Right.
fired.
But then you better give the reason. That's what
No,
you're saying,
no,
right?
that's not
because
what
he
I'm saying.
prefers to be transparent.
It's up to
Transparent
you.
about the firing, not the reason of the firing.
Yep.
That's what
because,
he said.
Because the reason
You
can
don't
be
have to
very
say.
can be very subjective. Because your boss might be fired because your boss doesn't like your face.
Exactly.
Or maybe I accidentally took a pen back and then they fired
Then
me
I
for
will
like
write that.
stealing. Yeah.
Seems my boss
Boss
didn't
don't
like
like
my
my
face.
No, but I wouldn't write that in a form
You'd be
that's
like,
online.
change
Why?
your face.
And because you never know where that form may end up. If I put
Yeah.
yes,
Okay.
then I'm prepared when I go for the interview for you to ask me why.
Why? Yeah.
Then
But
I
don't
can
put the
prepare an
reason down
answer.
on the paper.
I wouldn't put, as you said,
Are
I
they
wouldn't
correct?
I wouldn't want that going into
But
some
if you
database
put like
that-
my boss, seems like my boss didn't like my face, they will also ask you during the interview. Right?
Why?
Is it true? I mean, you put this down, then you can justify what you've written.
Or in the interview, and they look at your face and they realize that your boss was right.
Exactly.
You look at people and go, oh, I see it now.
He's got a jump face.
Oh, dear.
So it's not a good idea to put to excuse everything away or lie. It says NDA. But having said that, I once had a candidate whom I presented to a client, an American guy, and in the 80s, he basically he said he was in a software company from 84 to 89 in Russia.
Okay.
And he was from West Point.
Liar. Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
So I asked him, and he said, I can't tell you. And I realized that he was a spook.
Oh.
He was actually CIA.
He was actually a what?
He was a spy.
He was a spy. He was a CIA spy.
That's fine.
But he went to private practice after that, and I was like, okay, yeah, I'm not. That one
You were in
sounds
awe.
real. It sounds real. I mean, during those were the height of the Cold War,
It
right?
was the Cold War. Yeah.
Yeah, so I didn't go too much because he sounded, when he said, it sounded real. So
Is
I
he
didn't want-
still your friend?
no, he's retired in the US.
We should
already,
bring
so-
him on the show. I'd love to talk to a spy.
Wow.
But there's so
84
much-
to
there's so much they
89
can't talk
Yeah.
about.
in Russia.
In Russia.
I think that was Gorbachev during that time.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His name was Bond.
Actually, there's a very fun show I'm not sure it's on Netflix. It's about Tetris.
Yes, I've
Yes,
seen
I
it.
watched
Yeah,
it.
I watched it. Very good.
With,
Taron
Ta-
Egerton.
yeah, correct.
Yeah.
It was
It's
awesome.
very
He went
good.
to Russia and the software company and everything. So that was the same era. So I have no idea whether this candidate of mine was
Like that.
or
Yeah.
whether he was a real spy. But he didn't want to talk about it. He said there's nothing much to talk about during that period. Yeah, so I said, okay, fine. But because he was from West Point and had a military background, so
And he was in Russia.
he was in Russia, so I guess he's probably a spook. So
Yeah.
under that situation, maybe you can say that, I have an ND, I can't talk about it. But we have another client also who's
But
in
what
one of
was
the-
he applying for again? What?
he was applying. He was in the software space, and he was a VP for vice president for APAC region. So I was putting him forward to another client, and the client was asking me what's his background.
I see.
Right. Okay.
So I was, some background spook.
It's so
It's
cool.
vague.
What's his background? It's confidential. Oh, tell me. If I tell you, I'll have to kill you.
I think he must have killed a few people.
You never
possible.
know. It's
It's
possible.
possible. Yeah.
I'm not surprised. That's why I didn't want to ask him too much.
Yeah.
So, but we had another client as well in Singapore. He was with one of the defense organizations. Yeah, and when you ask him what's your proudest achievement, he said, I can't tell you. Everything else was I can't tell you as well. So
Killing 2,000 people.
But that is, you know, if
not
I
classified.
was the interviewer, right, and you know the person in front of me just keeps on saying, I can't tell you this, I can't tell you that. I won't waste my time with this person.
no, but
really,
if
you know.
it's someone like that, they can just say I was in the military, but it's confidential,
yeah,
right?
but
They can say
you can
that,
give
right?
very
Exactly.
broad. You know, I
Yeah.
organized this thing, I did this project, which involved.
Organized annihilations.
No, what I don't understand
Coming
is
up with traffic. Oh, well, let's go.
we'll come back, and yeah.
Beautiful girls, they only wanna do you dirt. They'll have you suicidal, 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 suicidal.
Kiss 92 traffic.
Okay, it looks like it's just the usual peak hour traffic. If you do spot anything unusual, drop us a message, 885550
Good morning, Singapore, and welcome back to Happy at Work Thursday with the one and only Adrian Choo from Korea Agility International.
I've got to say, I tend to stand with Glenn on this idea of if you keep saying, I can't tell you, I can't tell you, I
Yeah.
can't tell you, I'll end up with the thought, what the hell are you doing here?
So
You
what
know,
can you tell me?
But taking a spook, for example,
Yeah.
a spook is not just a spook. He always has a cover story.
Yeah.
This is true as
You
well.
use your cover story in the interview.
You've been watching way too much TV.
Of course.
But
Yes,
you're
Steve.
assuming that he is a spy. He's not
Yeah.
telling you that he's a spy.
He just
No.
said that he was in West Point and he
Yeah,
was in
yeah.
Russia.
Right. So use whatever your cover was, and that's it. You know, if you can't talk about something, then
I wouldn't hire someone I feel uncomfortable with.
Yeah,
It's like,
once you
come
go,
on.
I cannot.
you're going to be working for me. You tell me everything.
Yeah, that's true. I can't tell you. I'm not telling you NDA. No, you can't. So, and there are ways to work around it to tell. Even if you're working on a super top secret project, you can very much work your way around to give some context. Don't have to give the details.
Yeah.
So don't hide information by saying that you have an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement. Because after a while, you're right, the interviewer's going to go, what's this nonsense?
Yeah,
So
and the
they can
truth
smell.
always comes out.
They can smell BS a while,
Yeah.
a mile away.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's why.
What about things like salary?
Yeah. So another interesting piece of advice I heard, you don't have to tell the interviewer or the headhunter who's calling you up your current salary.
Okay.
And that's true to a certain extent. But you can give a ballpark figure. But I've seen individuals who have been giving the advice that, no, don't even give any information at all. Make them come up with the number, and then if you like the number, you join them. If you don't like the number, just tell them, nope, it's not good enough. Give me a higher number.
Okay, so you're saying give a ballpark.
Give a ballpark. I would be very open and transparent and provide the actual numbers itself, or at least a really close range.
A little bit higher.
A bit.
Just
Don't you have to tell them your last drawn salary? You don't have
No,
to.
nowadays you
No.
don't have
Oh.
to. But the problem is, from a headhunter's perspective, is that imagine I'm asking FD. FD is coming to a job interview, and I say, "What's your last round salary?" I'm not telling you.
$40,000
What's the,
per month.
per week?
per month.
Oh.
Can I really earn that?
You're talking about FD, what?
Yeah.
Can I really earn that?
So then he goes, "I'm not telling you." So can you give me a ballpark figure?
Yeah.
I'm not telling you.
Because I ask that question, but I ask, what salary do you expect?
Yeah.
Only to see if you understand the industry.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the people that apply are very young. So do you understand the industry? When you give me a ballpark salary, that helps me understand how much you know.
What's a regular executive
So
going for
just
these
just
days?
say like I'm one of them. I'm approaching FD right now,
Yeah.
and I'm thinking, okay, so he's asking me how much I want.
Yeah.
I'm going, give me a ballpark of what you think you should earn.
$1,500.
He'll be like, you're hired.
No, FD will be the type. No, I think you're worth $700. Right, I'd be-
With a voice like that, you probably are.
But Adrian, you were saying headhunters who are not employers, obviously, headhunters help you to get employment. But with the headhunters, shouldn't you be open with how much you want and then they go and do the pitching for you?
Yeah.
Isn't that how it works?
It's true. And I'm saying that you should give an indication about
To the headhunters at least.
And there are reasons for it, which we will talk about when we go on YouTube.
Yes.
Okay.
Haneri is next. And speaking of Haneri, who's Daphne Koo, of course, your host on Eavesdropping, she's going to be at Gastrobeats this evening
Today,
at
right?
6 p.m. because she will be giving away, in celebration of her 100th snack.
For
Because
her show,
She
yes.
sings about snacks every day, right?
Yes.
So today, in celebration of it being the 100th snack that she is singing about on the show, she'll be working together with Ben and Jerry's at Gastrobeats to give out half pints.
100 half pints
Yeah.
of Ben and Jerry's ice cream. Yeah. Give out.
Give
She's
out.
giving means you don't have to pay for it, so head on down.
Yeah.
Still the school holidays. So.
I still plan to go running around the Marina Bay area, and so I might just pop by.
and get some ice cream?
Yeah, get some ice cream.
Put all those
right.
calories back on?
So head on down and make sure you say hi to Daphne, okay? Anyway, here she is with her latest offering, Haneri with Hold Hands on Kiss 92. Look at who's back.
Hey!
Andre Houden is back from
Andre.
his
There you go.
long holiday.
In the US.
Yeah, he was away for 2 months, no?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So the bosses told him, okay, you better come back now. If not, don't come back. So
He's-
straight away he came back.
He can hear everything you're saying. That's
He
why
can't
he's
hear me,
reacting. He can. See? That's it. Look, 2 months. He's like, oh, wow. Okay. We can see you on camera. Careful now.
No, lah, we can't. She's lying.
No, the hand gesture wasn't 2 months.
That hand gesture.
So, getting back to what we were talking
Yeah.
about. So, it's not necessary that you give your salary, but you should have a ballpark in mind anyway.
Yeah, and I tell you why. Okay, it's not because of it's my right. It's not my right. Headhunters and as a rule, have this rule of thumb. Okay, if you're going to give me so much hassle, even at the front end of it, by not telling me your salary and everything, when you finally get the deal, and I have to negotiate salary with you, it's going to be even more painful at the tail end. So I once had this candidate who refused to tell, who gave me a ballpark figure, and at the end of it, I asked him, no, we need to have some, but this is about 10 years ago. And one of the client asked, can we have proof? Because he's asking for $500,000. Okay, and he was only 35. And he said his previous salary was about there.
Okay.
So the client said, okay, fine, I don't mind paying him that amount if he can show proof that his previous salary was that amount.
Oh, right,
Whoa.
okay.
Because it was way above the client liked him. The client was going to stretch the budget for him.
And he would have paid it if he could prove it.
Yeah.
Speaking
then
of
how?
$40,000 a month, $45,000 a month, that's
About
the guy.
right?
So-
FP.
Stop it, are you?
So this guy
what do you do?
So I said, can you show me proof, a fair deal,
Yeah.
He said, oh, I can't show you because of
NDA.
NDA, because of confidentiality. And I said, no, can you just what are the ways? You can show me your IRA if you want to.
Yeah.
Right. No, that is my own. See, anyway, he was avoiding and prevaricating and just. And I said, okay, that's my bullshit detector was up. So it's like, nah, he's just trying his luck. So sometimes, you want to inflate. Don't inflate by so much.
But do it correctly.
Seriously. And for me, as an experienced headhunter, I can tell you that when a person doesn't want to tell you his current salary, it's just a casual question. What level? What's your package on? What package are you on now? When they don't want to tell you their salary, it either means A, they feel very underpaid and they're afraid that if I tell you, you're going to squeeze me, and then that's one of the more difficult clients to work with.
Almost ashamed to say it as well.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
To reveal
and
the
it's
salary.
fine if you tell me I'm not judging you, okay? But there's a sort of person who wants a bigger, better deal. And it's going to
Yeah.
squeeze you all the way.
Yeah.
Or someone who's overpaid, very senior, wanting a junior level position. It says, it doesn't matter, I'm not telling you my salary. And that's fine also. If you feel you're too big for the role, you can just talk it through. Be open with your headhunter or recruiter.
So let's say you ask me for my salary and I say, okay, I'm getting $5,000. Do I have to prove it to you after that?
Some companies...
Or are you going to take my word for it?
Some companies will ask for it. Today, you're not required. In fact, I think there's I wouldn't
So
say
there's a certain level
I wouldn't
of
say there's a
trust.
law, but there is the practice now is they don't ask you for your salary increase. Back in the day, we used to ask for salary proof.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
so
right. Okay.
What if a headhunter or maybe the boss of a company comes to you, right? So you're still working
Yeah.
with another company, but they come to you and
poach
they
you.
offer you a position,
Yeah.
and they ask you for your price.
Yeah.
Oh, name your price. Oh,
But price
Right.
is different from what your salary is, right?
So they
Yeah.
still don't have to tell the headhunter what they're currently earning, right? Because
no,
they've
yeah,
then
yeah.
asked
Correct, yeah.
the person the
You're
question,
coming
what's
to me,
your
right?
price?
Yeah, you're coming to me. Make me an offer I cannot refuse.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
that-
I like
couldn't
that.
you also say my current salary is in the region of,
Why do you need to?
but in this next job I am looking for.
Yeah.
No,
No.
but I'm talking about
This situation.
the people coming to you.
And say name
So
your
you don't
price.
have,
Name your
they're coming
price.
to you to ask you to
That's
name
a
your
good
price.
position to
so,
be in.
So my question is, if they ask you to name your price, then when they give you, let's say you choose to go work for them, you still don't have to reveal what you were drawing in your company, right?
Mm.
Yeah, correct. So you don't have to. In fact, I still remember when I first finished my A-levels and I went for some temp jobs and I was filling up forms. And I looked at this guy next to me. He was filling up his form. And under the column, under the box salary expected, he wrote as soon as possible. I was like, okay, yeah, that made sense. You didn't want to answer it. So as soon as
gosh.
possible.
I had a friend who did not when it came to salary. It's like the form, name, address, sex. She goes, yes, please.
Yeah. What about this thing of follow your passion? Because my thought on this, and I told this to my children when they were going into work, your first job doesn't have to be your passion. It's about learning the working
You told them
environment.
that.
Yeah. Learning the working environment. Learning the new the real world before you get involved in your passion.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
I think it's nice if your job is your passion, but and it's not saying that you shouldn't. I think you should
If you can find
if you
it,
can find
yeah.
it, and if your passion makes money,
Yeah.
then it's fine. But the reason why I feel follow your passion is bad advice is because when someone else hears it, hey, but I'm not passionate about my work. My work is not my passion. Then they start feeling unhappy. Then they say, maybe I should quit my job and find something which I'm passionate about. And then they start opening a bakery or do something silly. And
Passion
then
doesn't always pay.
Yeah, passion doesn't pay.
Yeah.
And the worst
Yeah.
thing is passion is also very fleeting sometimes.
It is.
No, I'm
And
very
it takes a
passionate about
long
this.
time if you have, like, say, a bakery or you have
Yeah.
whatever it may be. It takes a long time to build that reputation because everyone else is doing it.
Correct. So that's why I always believe that, don't follow your passion as far as the work is concerned. Follow your interest. What are you interested in? Like for instance, if you're interested in entertainment, right, or events or whatever it is, go in there, do what you're interested in, and be really good at what you do.
MC lah. Everybody wants to be an MC
Everyone's
these
the
days.
MC these days, right?
Thanks to
Everyone's a
FD, who used to have an academy, so he trained all these people.
Nonsense.
Flooded the
But
market.
you know what? You know what? Everyone is an MC. Everyone is a model. Everyone is a spokesperson. Everyone's a
Influencer.
career advisor
Yeah.
because of social media.
Yes.
You know, they put up one picture wearing a bracelet and they're like, "Look, I'm a model." You know what I mean?
Because there's no one to tell them no.
No, you're not.
You can't
yeah,
make
this
it
is true.
these days,
Yeah.
because when they go for these courses and all that, they're all encouraged.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
You know what I
Of
mean?
course.
They're encouraged because they're paying what?
Yeah.
You can't go like, oh, okay, I don't think you can make it lah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'd rather actually. I'd rather just
No, and I agree
No.
with you.
Instead-
I
instead
love
of
what
them
you-
making
I
fools
love what
out
you
of
just
themselves.
said. I love what you just said. You may have the passion, but may not be good at it. Then what's the point? Right?
Correct.
Yeah,
But there's no one there to tell them that they're not.
Yeah,
good at
and
it.
that's why you have American Idol people going up on stage and singing horribly. Like, did anyone tell them that their singing sucks?
Everyone
But
needs a
everyone-
Simon Cowell in their life to
Yes.
tell them whether they can or cannot do
But
it.
in this day and age with social media, not many people are going to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the
Because
poor
they can-
things, because a lot of people
Yeah.
think they are talented.
And they look really
You
stupid.
know, and a lot of people think they
across.
can.
I mean, you
make
don't
it.
have to be rude to them the way
Yeah.
Simon Cowell was. And
Yeah.
these days, he's not
Yeah.
as
Oh,
he's
rude
not anymore,
anymore,
right?
right?
He's
He's not
settled-
as rude,
he's settled
right?
down, yeah.
But you need to be honest.
honest. Yeah.
You know, I mean,
Yeah.
if you're in the industry, I mean, some people might go like, "Yeah, who are you to tell the person that he is not talented enough?" Well,
I
mean,
have
if-
30 years of experience.
Correct. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
not just like
In fact-
any other person. If you get like established personalities, not just us, but people who've
Yeah.
been in the industry
Yeah,
for a
yeah.
long time, I mean, they have credibility.
In fact,
Yeah,
Glenn,
for
if-
sure.
I think for yourself, just one blink, you know whether the guy's got it or not, right?
I feel
You
so.
got the gut, right? You were saying that
Yeah.
you should be
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
talent agent.
Yeah.
Yes, no.
And he would
I'll
be
be a
good at
talent
it.
scout.
Yeah.
He
talent
sees
scout.
he sees it very quickly.
Okay, wait, we're going back on it.
So let the music play till the end. Kiss 92 traffic.
Wow, quite a few accidents to tell you about. The first is on the SLE towards the CTE at the Woodlands Avenue 12 exit. Look out for that accident. Also in the CTE tunnel, this is at the Havelock Road exit in the direction of the AYE. Yet another accident has been spotted. And also on the AYE towards the MCE after Clementi Avenue 2's exit. Another accident has been spotted, and this is causing backup until Jurong Town Hall's entrance. Avoid the rightmost lane. Wherever you are this morning, please stay safe.
Good morning, Singapore, and welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. Our guest for this morning is Adrian Choo from Career Agility International. We've been talking about, some bad advice. Actually, we spoke about that a little bit at the start. And then, of course, we started talking about everything else. But it's still been a really interesting session.
It has been.
And, someone's asking us on Facebook what each of us have had for breakfast today. So I think we need to
Who said?
reveal. Okay, so Angel had bananas.
I had granola and a banana, yes,
Wow.
with coconut chips.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had bihun with luncheon meat and an egg.
So healthy.
Right.
Yeah.
I
Glenn?
had herbal chicken because
Wow.
the guy had herbal chicken soup ready already. So I
And-
had that for breakfast.
Cheyenne had coconut jelly juice.
Cheyenne coconut jelly juice.
Something like that, yeah.
Yes. And what did you have for breakfast
I
today?
had 2 curry puffs.
Oh yeah,
Curry
hey.
puffs.
Two curry puffs.
Pola.
No, the one from the Malay food store, the classic traditional.
Oh, the classic
right,
Epo
right,
Epo.
right.
Epo.
Nice.
That's my favorite.
Was
But-
it good?
Yeah, that's
I love my
that's
curry
my that's
puffs.
my only vice. Because
Okay.
It's not
Curry
healthy,
puffs?
but yeah, it's
Epo, potato or sardine?
potato.
Potato.
I like sardine.
Spicy?
It was.
Okay, next time please bring some in.
We should all eat more sardines.
No, I don't like
It's good for the bones. Yeah, really. Sardines.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Seriously. Anyway, you got Cheyenne's breakfast wrong. What coconut, don't know what, and all
I
that.
said,
Grape lah.
jelly juice. Okay, grape jelly
grape
juice. Same
jelly
thing.
juice.
It was a
Yeah.
fruit of some sort.
Grape.
Yeah.
grape. Okay. Anyway, it's almost time for us to go. Almost.
Almost.
What were we talking about?
Bad
Did we
advice.
have-
Bad advice.
Bad
Like,
advice.
for example, your boss is your friend.
That's a boss or your colleagues or friend, and that's interesting, because I had lunch yesterday with a client, and we were just talking about do you really have friends at the workplace?
Yes.
I think we are very lucky.
I
we
think
do.
we're lucky, yeah.
We do.
Yeah,
I think we can consider each other friends.
Yeah, and if you do, you're lucky. But if you are oversharing or you become too chummy with your colleagues, either they want to either avoid you if you're too creepy
Yeah.
about it, or you might leak information. So I had this person I know who was not happy with the boss, and he thought he could confide it in his colleague.
Uh-oh.
Because the colleague was friendly to him, and he
Oops.
assumed that was your friend. Yeah, so bad idea.
Yeah.
Bad idea. What's bad idea? So,
Rule number one: the more you put out there, the more there is to come back and bite you.
yeah, I like that.
Yes.
I like that. I like that.
It's
Yeah.
true.
Is that why you're so private, FD?
To a degree.
Yeah, I know. I think there are certain lines that you stick to, and certain lines you don't overstep.
Boundaries,
Especially
yeah.
when it gets to work.
Yeah.
Especially you'd never talk about your bosses to anybody. I mean, if you don't like anyone, you just shut up and keep
Yeah.
quiet.
Yeah.
Keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
Because you never know.
I love my bosses.
Yeah,
No,
we.
I'm saying
talk-
if you don't like your bosses, you don't put it
And
out
they're also
there.
friends.
Yes,
that's why we
Yeah.
started this conversation saying we're lucky.
we are very lucky.
We are lucky.
Yeah.
Ah.
All right.
Okay. Up next, Glass Animals with Heat Waves on Kiss 92.
Sometimes all I think about
Okay. What else? What other bad advice?
Anyone else?
What?
On
Yeah.
Facebook?
What about this one? Don't worry, the company will take care of you.
Yeah.
Which is kind of that goes back to our first topic about
They'll-
loyalty, right?
Yeah, when times are tough, they'll take
Take care of you.
They'll really literally take care of you.
We
so-
we saw some companies that really stood
Yeah.
up, especially during the pandemic.
Oh
Yeah.
yes.
You know, that
Yes.
really did not fire anyone.
Yeah.
Redeployed people like SQ and all that. They redeployed their crew to different the hospitals.
The
I think.
hotels,
The
yeah.
hotels,
And, restaurants as well.
Restaurants, yeah. And then
Yeah.
you have someone like Sheng Xiong who continued paying their staff as well, and then gave them bonuses on top of
and-
that.
Oh yeah, they had a huge bonus.
Huge
on top.
bonuses, yeah.
Shout out to I think the karaoke Teo Heng.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah,
Yep.
they kept, even though the KTV rooms were all closed. The owner basically gave them a full,
Payroll.
Yeah, full payroll.
Yeah.
Oh, were
Yeah.
they selling off their karaoke equipment? Teo Heng? No?
I no idea, but I,
thought
know.
that-
Maybe they sold off, but they kept their staff.
No,
kept
I,
the stuff.
I thought they were about to close down
Shut.
actually. And then after COVID, they emerged
Yeah, they're back up. Yeah.
once again, right?
That's-
Opened up the outlets.
So that's
and all.
amazing. So there are some companies that will take care of you,
Yeah.
but don't assume the company is going to take care of you forever. Once again, unless you are planning to be there for the next 20, 30 years, treat your job now as a gig. And because you're treating your job as a gig, what that means is that you're always looking out for the next better role, the next better place to be, where you can perform better, learn more things, earn more money.
Do people who feel comfortable in their roles still have to look out for something better and something more comfortable?
I think it's always good to have plan B and C. And ultimately, it's best if you're like what Dan was saying, when someone else comes to you and say, name your price, because you're so darn good at it. Name your price.
And you got to be open about it.
Yeah. So we've seen people who have been so loyal, they go, no. So I've seen people who, when I approach them and say, actually, there's an exciting job opportunity for you. Do you want to talk about it? I say, no, I'm very happy here. My boss loves me. I love my boss. I love my company. I'm very loyal. Go away. Don't talk to me.
Then should I go to my boss and then go, oh, I just got offered something, but I'm very happy where I am. Do you want to counter offer? Do you do that?
Some people do that, but how many times
Is
can
it
you play
PC
that? You could try it. But even
Like
if
a
you
price
get it,
war, right?
yeah. But it's some bosses will look at it as a threat.
And then you burn bridges.
Yeah. So there's this individual I spoke to, and he basically rebuffed me and said, "No, I'm very loyal. I'm not gonna go anymore. Don't talk to me anymore." 3 months later, he called me up and said, "Is the job still open?"
Oh.
Yeah. So he was given a pink slip.
Oh,
Yeah.
so the company got rid of him.
Yeah. So ultimately, you got to be very mindful about looking out for number one.
Yourself.
Once again, as I said, does not mean you be disloyal. Does not mean you work any less harder than you should. You should always be your best. But if a better opportunity comes along and you look at it and it goes, hey, this makes sense.
I think the way to go is buy stocks every week.
Buy stocks every week. Okay.
Actually, you know,
I was just sitting down the other day at home
Actually,
and
you know.
thinking I mean, I love what I do, but then, the past couple of months I've been spending like quite a lot of money. So how do I recoup this fast?
Yeah, well, stocks
So
are
I made
a
a few phone
gamble,
calls.
so-
I made a few phone calls to some of my friends and all that.
And
I'm like-
have you made your
and
money
so-
back?
Well, no, I haven't even.
Oh, you haven't
started
done anything yet, right, okay.
But yeah, I have some nice tips.
Okay.
I go back to what Angel was saying. If someone came to me and said, "Hey, boss, this company offered me this," I would go, "So what are your KPIs? What's your job role?"
What, as the boss, you would say
Yeah.
that? Mm.
Because
No,
if
say
you- if- yeah.
it's equal. I'm just saying it's everything being equal.
I wouldn't want you as my boss.
No, because if someone comes to me and says, "Oh, they've offered me this,"
Yeah.
then I want to know what the terms are, right? Because if the terms are heavier than what I'm putting on you, then I'll give you the salary, but I'll give you their terms.
See what I mean? So I mean, I love you as a radio partner and all that, but as a boss, I think you'll be one of those action bosses. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah. No, I think he'll make an okay boss. Like, to me. I think he's quite fair.
No,
because
because at the
because
end-
you're a lady, you see.
No,
that's why.
at the end of the day,
I think he's open to like having conversations.
That's
I
what
think
I
it's
want.
open
Yeah.
to
I wanna
having
have-
conversations with
Ladies.
pretty girls.
I don't think I really
my
don't think
name
he's
is
like
not Glenong.
Please, please. I may seem that way, but
Yeah, Glenn's
I'm-
like, I only have time for girls in skirts.
that's true. Like,
Boys in pants, you can
Hey, going.
line up there.
yeah. Correct.
Yes, there you go.
You're right. You're right. But FD will be like a serious boss. I think he will be a very serious boss.
It's okay to be a serious
I'm
boss.
a serious boss when we're. I'll be honest. I'm a serious boss when we're
Working.
talking about money and talking about KPIs and talking about promotions.
No, you're serious.
I
You're
am.
just serious.
listen to him,
Don't
just
think just
ignore.
because you laugh like, oh, you're not serious.
Just ignore him.
Okay?
Yeah.
Everyone loves your laugh.
It's Attack FD Day, so
Yeah, I think so. I
leave
think
him
so.
alone.
But you're serious. You're a serious boss. I think I need to talk to
Any
all
other?
the
So
people who
Adrian,
work under you.
any other
Yeah.
tips? Stop talking. Shh. Yeah.
well, I think I'm curious about. Have you heard of any bad career advice?
Yeah, stuff that we hear on social media. Like you
There's a lot
say,
of
you
it,
know,
yeah.
there's so much on TikTok, like, oh, do this, and you'll get this and that. And the poor
Yeah.
people that are watching it,
Yeah.
the people that have never been into employment or
Yeah.
into the real world,
Yeah.
will take that advice and think it's true.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because this person has 1 million views.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they must be right.
True.
You
So
know?
I think you have to exercise your own discretion.
But
when
a
you
lot of
listen to
people
all
don't
this.
have
Yeah, but there's no framework to it.
discretion.
Yeah. So that's why shameless plug here. You know,
They
listen,
come to
listen
you.
to us.
Yeah.
We're also on Spotify as well, the Career Strategist. So
Hmm.
yeah, we it's a no BS zone. So you know, whatever it is, we just tell you. If it's not popular, we'll tell you as well.
And you're also live on LinkedIn every Friday? You're
Yeah,
still
that's
doing
right.
that?
We're still
Okay.
doing that, yeah,
What
still
time
doing
do you guys start?
8:30 on LinkedIn Live, and we record it, but we put it on our Spotify channel as well. We've got close to 80 episodes there.
Oh, nice.
okay.
Okay.
Oh, great.
Okay.
Repository. So it's quite fun. A lot of information there. Once again, if you're on Spotify, it's the Career Strategists channel.
With an S.
With an S.
Speaking of which, I mean, if you want to ask Adrian for any advice, it's info@careeragility.org.
Okay, going back on air.
Stand by.
You paparazzi. Promise I'll be kind, but I won't stop until that boy is mine. Baby, you'll be famous, chase you down until you love me.
Lady Gaga with Paparazzi right here on Kiss 92. All the great songs in one place. Speaking of starting up something to make extra money, maybe I should start up a paparazzi company. Since there are no paparazzi companies here in Singapore.
Yeah, but there's no paparazzi sort of,
Culture here.
at all.
Well,
Yeah,
I can
there
start one.
People chasing
so
after
then who would you paparazzi?
he himself.
I don't know, it depends.
He would
Yeah,
get,
gonna
he
pay
would just
someone
get-
to do-
yeah, that's all they're gonna
he would
do.
get all his cameramen to chase him. And all
You know, I
these
mean, we
screaming fans.
work here at SPH Media.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there's the Straits Times and other newspapers and
Yeah.
all that.
We
you
have
know.
all the equipment already.
Probably
Yeah,
not
yeah,
getting
yeah.
like, juicy photos because there are no paparazzis.
So what kind of juicy photos would you like to
I don't know.
release?
But we'll see, right? We'll see.
Okay.
You know? It's like Angel
Huh?
walking her tofu
Uh-huh.
with no makeup on.
Oh.
Have you seen Angel with no makeup on? There you go.
Stop giving them
Zoom
ideas.
in. Right there.
Stop it,
little
stop
things
it.
like that. I mean, harmless things,
Yeah.
but entertaining
harmless
things.
to who? The
Like
viewer?
FD.
Yeah.
FD standing outside of his Chua Chu Kang flat just in his boxer shorts.
Oh, that'll make some money.
It's like,
Wow.
have you ever seen anything that white? Boom. Straight away. Someone's going to read about it.
Shut up, flat
that's
nose.
like clickbait, right? Have you
Clickbait,
ever
yeah.
seen anything that white?
Yeah.
Click to find out more.
And just when you thought FD had an innie, actually it's got an outie. Because you zoom right in. Glenn Ong's paparazzi.
I
How
need to
about
hire
that?
you for my clickbait, man. Seriously, you've got some good one-liners.
Okay, in closing.
In closing, there's the internet, social media. It's flooded with advice. Some are good, some are bad. Just exercise caution and a lot of discernment when you see the advice. Does it make sense? Would Adrian say this?
Yeah.
If you're really unsure, get in touch with
Get in
Adrian or
touch,
Yen.
yeah.
just
I mean, if
talk
you
to
see
us,
something on the internet, like on TikTok or Instagram or YouTube, and it's career advice telling you to do something, if
Yeah.
you're unsure, just drop them an
Yeah,
email.
just forward it to me and I'll let you know whether it's
With
good
the
or
link,
funny.
right?
Yeah, with the link, and I'll tell
Yeah.
you whether it's yay or nay. Whether it's
Okay,
BS.
there you go.
Right. Attention, either Adrian or Yen. I mean,
Career strategist in your pocket.
right.
Yeah.
Info at careeragility.org. Right?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
right.
Thank you very much, Adrian, for joining us today.
Always a pleasure to be here and happy to be back in the seat with FD again.
All right. Okay, you take care of your back as well.
Yeah.
Oh,
Stop
yeah.
sitting on each other's laps.
Why?
Why?
Because you said you were happy to be back in the seat with him.
Okay, nothing but thieves. They're next. Oh no, on Kiss 92.